computer. Okay, we're talking about the Swiss Bionic Omnium1 compared to the iMRS Prime, and Adrian is an expert on that, and so he's going to tell myself and Sherry how what the differences are and the benefits.
So your main difference is in the full body mat, with the iMRS Prime having the capability of having far infrared at the same time as the pulsed electromagnetic fields are working. So you're getting a nice, warm, cozy feeling from the mat as well. And you can adjust the temperature anywhere from 32 degrees up to 45 degrees. So you can pick everything you want. The mat itself is thicker because it doesn't need to fold up as small. So it's more than twice as thick. The mat, the back pad, and the spot pad all have lights on them so that when they're actually working, you can see a visual lit up, either a green or a bluish kind of light, and it changes from green to blue when it reverses polarity from north to south. So you can visually go, oh, my mat's still running. The other thing that I like, especially for older people, is the control unit and the way that the applicators plug in. You can plug in all three applicators at the same time, and you don't have to do the lining up and twisting and turning the threads to screw them in and unscrew them. They're very, very easy, just push-pull plugs. So they're much easier for people that have any kind of issues with manual dexterity. The control screen is much more, everything is larger. So it's really easy to set the clock. So again, for people that are elderly, much easier to use, more intuitive. It guides you through each step of picking your applicator and then picking the time you want and picking your intensity. And if you have far infrared, picking your temperature and then hitting start, right? So it's simple in that way. It has all the same quick starts that we have on the Omnium. So the 5 quick starts, but then it has 2 additional ones that I really like. One is called balance and one is solfeggio. So those have a different feeling to them for me. I find the solfeggio is really energizing. So I really like that one. So yeah, there's a lot of benefits to it, and it's just, I think it's more durable. It's a different kind of vinyl, so it's going to be easier to clean or disinfect, and if people are worried about that kind of thing. I purchased a UV light for disinfecting any of the mats, so I don't have to wash them with disinfectant if someone's going, oh, I'm scared of viruses on things because you just touched it. Yeah, other than that, those are the main differences. Your frequencies, your intensity range, and everything are identical, unless you get the trial version. But most people wouldn't get the trial version. So, but the main thing is having the infrared, and also it also has a split mode. So if you have the hybrid version, you have a split mode where you can plug into 2. It's kind of like having 2 separate mats. So somebody could be doing a full body mat session, not in infrared, but if you want to do split mode, you can't do the split with the infrared on. But if you wanted to, say, have one person doing a full body mat PEMF session, and then somebody else at the very same time could set up totally different parameters for either a back pad or a spot pad. So 2 people could be using it at the same time. So that's an added benefit, you know, especially for any kind of clinical application. The cords are long enough so that the body mat and the spot pad could be 6 feet apart if that was an issue. So that for some people, that's especially for families, then one person could be, if you're watching a movie, one person could be using the spot pad, one person could be using the back pad, both in different intensity ranges, settings, completely separate. So it's like having 2 completely separate control units in one.
And does it have oxygen sensor? I see.
If you get the sense, yes.
But So that's a separate attachment.
That's not the special this month. The special isn't for the sets, but if you have the oxygen sensor, it will read your heart rate variability, and it will also read your oxygen saturation.
And what does that come with it? That's just a separate attachment?
It's a separate attachment. It's a sensor that fits on your finger, and then it plugs into the control unit.
All right. Is there other options that come with that map?
Just the Hexagon brain, which is like the Omni brain. They haven't actually been shipped yet. They've been back ordered because they were having issues getting them all put together with the pandemic, but they're ready to ship momentarily, as far as I'm aware.
Okay,
So I don't have mine yet. I'll be one of the first people to get one because I pre-ordered my Hexagon Prime before it came out.
So the deal this month is to get
The deal this month is if you buy the advanced version, so it goes from basic to advanced to expert to hybrid to trial. So if you buy the advanced version, which is the second version up, instead of just getting gifted up to the expert version, you're actually getting gifted up 2 levels. So it saves about, in Canadian dollars, about $2,600 plus whatever your taxes are. So in BC, it's close to $3,000 that you're saving.
And that doesn't include anything, just the map. There's no.
No, that gives you the mat, it gives you the back pad, it gives you the spot pad, and it gives you the it gives you the infrared sensors in your full body mat. So you get everything. The only version higher than the hybrid is the trial version, which lets you pick different frequencies and different intensity ranges. So it varies in those ways. I haven't played with mine at all. But the other add-ons are the Hexagon Sense, which is the finger sensor with the biofeedback, and the Hexagon Brain, which is like the Omni Brain. All right, so those are the only 2, and those come with the sets. So it isn't the set that's on special this month, it's just the regular packages.
And I wanted to note that I asked you about the word trial. It just seemed, anyway, I liked your answer that it's clinical trial. And it's really more clinically used, that particular version.
Yeah, originally when they first announced it, it was only going to be available for medical practitioners. But then once it was released, they mind, and so now you can buy the trial version. But most people wouldn't use it unless they really want to play around with frequencies or different settings, you know. But for most people, for general health, we've already got the best frequencies and intensity range that there is. So that's all. And the Prime has the organ clock the same way, so it sets it. But you can select each step along the way. You select all the different parameters you want.
And what about the biofeedback? Is that just on the trial version?
No, the biofeedback is called the Hexagon Sense, and that can be purchased at any time as an accessory. It just plugs into the DA converter box, and you put it on your finger, and then it would read out, and it would automatically adjust intensity for you depending on your heart rate and your heart rate variability.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's good. Those are my.
Okay, so the special is on till Sunday night, 9 p.m. BC time, or 12 midnight Ontario time.
Thank you so much.
If you do want to go ahead and you've got issues not being able to get through the process, get hold of one of us and we can help go through it.
I will do that. Oh, I have one more question. Is there any way of using, like, say, my Omni Brain with that?